Well. And welcome to the Go Spurs Go Memes podcast number 40, live but recorded from the Go Spurs Go Memes Network studio. I am your host, Ray, in studio with me today, Frank, Buddy, and Clay. Gentlemen, we took last week off. We're back this week. I was really exhausted last week. I really didn't want to do a podcast last week.
It's been a hard couple weeks.
I am so freaking exhausted. And plus, it was my birthday week, and so I really didn't want to do anything.
21.
But the big news from my birthday week is actually on my birthday. I opened up Go Spurs Go Memes to see we passed 19,000 likes on Facebook.
That's a lot of people.
I think we're up to 19,350 something. Like, it just keeps going up. And I haven't done anything on Facebook. I really haven't made memes. I haven't really started focusing on doing like news reports and the rumors and all that stuff. I started doing that today. But I don't know what it is. I guess old memes are starting to come up and stuff on people's timelines, and so people are starting to like Go Spurs Go memes. But yeah, it's completely taken off. I think it's just crazy. I wasn't expecting us to just keep gaining so many likes with the Spurs not playing right now.
That's why, because they need their fix.
You're probably right, Clay.
Yeah,
I really do think
on.
people are going kind of insane right now. As you can see right behind us here at the studios, we do have the Cavs and Warriors game
the final
going
seconds.
on, right? The final seconds of a Cavalier blowout. I still can't believe I'm saying that. I really thought that this was probably going to be a sweep, but I guess not having Kevin Love on the court was a great thing for the Cavaliers because they just beat the Warriors really, really bad. But really, who really cares about this series right now?
I don't care.
Well, I mean,
I want them to beat each other to death.
What's going on right now? They're shooting a three, but they're up by 30, 90 to 120 with 13 seconds left. It looks like they're going to dribble it out.
11, 10.
So it looks like it's going to be a final score. And Cleveland looks like they're back in. So everybody who has We Believe, pull out your jerseys, pull out your posters, because you are not going to win.
The one thing you got to admit was pretty cool was seeing this evening all of the Cleveland fans singing the national anthem at the beginning of the game. I thought that was actually pretty cool. I don't know.
I didn't even see that.
But that didn't top, I don't know if you guys are keeping up with the Stanley Cup final, but Metallica last night played the national anthem.
What?
Yeah, Kirk Hammett and James Hetfield played the national anthem last night. It was freaking brilliant. It was pretty awesome to hear them do that.
Hockey loves America.
It's really true.
Because they don't have any drummers, so they're in time.
Lars was really upset he wasn't there. Anyways, this is the Go Spurs Go Memes podcast. God, I can't even speak. The Go Spurs Go Memes podcast. So I think we should go ahead and start talking a little bit about Spurs. So today, David Pick, who is one of the best guys in the rumor mill, he kind of came out today and said that from everything that he's hearing, Boban will re-sign with the Spurs.
Ah, yes.
So thoughts, guys? What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, I don't see where else he would go at this point. I mean, he didn't prove much in the playoffs. He didn't prove very useful in the playoffs.
He wasn't even a chance to
And now we're looking at the series going forward, and you say to yourself, is a Boban really a good option for you if you're trying to build a team or trying to get a free agent?
Not that much money, though.
But so the Spurs have until June 30th to tender an offer to him, which would be $1.5 million. That'll make him a restricted free agent. So anybody that does try to offer Boban more, Spurs can basically match it if they want to. But if you really think about it, $1.5 million, it's really a deal.
Yeah.
If you think about it.
Where he's from, that's big money. That's like 1,000 goats.
I think it's
someone's sister.
I think that's way more than 1,000 goats.
They're premium goats. I don't know what you're talking about, buddy, though. He's great in the regular season. The playoffs, he didn't get a chance. A lot of playing time to even show off, but don't laugh at me.
I can see Ray's face thinking.
He can develop, I think, into a great center. Just needs a couple years to get the American system down. The same in Europe.
And it really isn't, because in Europe he was scoring 40 points a game.
That's 40 euros a game. 40 euros. And that's what I realized with him is just, you are seeing a improvement. The more games he plays, better rebounding. I just really wish he keeps his butt off the floor.
Yeah.
Because a guy that big, that
shouldn't
tall,
be falling down.
No,
he should be like a
all.
physical force.
I just don't think he knows how to play the physical game of the NBA.
Well, he needs
I
more
don't think
bulk.
so either.
He needs more bulk on his body. He's not going to get it.
How many pounds?
How much more bulk?
He is living in San Antonio. He can hit up some enchilada stands and get some bulk on his body.
He probably already does. just to keep the body going.
Everybody move!
He needs to learn a Boris Diaw.
Okay, so I'm glad you brought that name up, Frank. So let's talk about Boris Diaw. So Bobo
He's at Whataburger
is
right
saying that he probably is at Whataburger. He's saying that the Spurs want him back. And so everyone's kind of saying like, oh, maybe that means that Boris is going to stay. I don't know how I feel about that because my whole thing is if you look at our cap situation, if the Spurs are hoping to make a move, Boris has to go. Like his salary is too fat there. It needs to go. His salary, no pun intended. Boris's salary has to go, and probably Danny Green's salary has to go. So, what are you guys' thoughts on that? Is it better for the Spurs to keep Boris Diaw, or is it better for us to, stretch out $3 million that we're going to owe him and get rid of that contract?
Who's going to take Danny Green in the NBA right now? I mean, who would be interested, especially getting that large of a contract that he has?
Well, but it's not. It's actually a deal. It really
exactly.
is $10 million a year. What you're going to see right now is, remember, it's the Kevin Durant sweepstakes. I mean, how can you forget about that? So basically, what's happening this summer is that there are tons of teams that have opened up cap space. So what you're going to see is Durant can't go to 15 of the 30 NBA teams, of course. But what's going to happen is all these teams are going to have a ton of money left over. So you're going to have all these players that aren't worth it just bank out and get these amazing contracts. So there will be teams that will be able to take Danny Green's $10 million contract if the Spurs want to get rid of him.
The Lakers, I'm sure they have plenty of room now, right?
No, they got a lot of space now.
Well, but you also have to remember too, like with the whole Danny Green thing, it would have to be like a trade or basically kind of what we did with Thiago Splitter last year to get rid of him. Is we basically just kind of gave him to Atlanta, kind of gave him some cash and said, just keep him. We want Aldridge
for bubblegum and
exactly. So I mean, it would kind of be the similar.
It's like when you get rid of an old couch, just take it.
Yeah,
I don't want it anymore.
We're just gonna leave it on the curb.
So Diaw, I think that he sort of run out of his usefulness for us. I mean, we already saw it in the playoffs. I mean, he was rendered pretty much inert. I mean, he was actually a very good and integral part of fighting the Thunder before, but they've gotten better and they found a way to neutralize somebody like him. And when he's not performing consistently and when he's not rebounding consistently or doing the things that really bother the Thunder, he's really a liability. He really, really is. And so if you're paying him that much,
How much is the contract?
you're paying him somewhere.
Off the top of my head, I just know we owe him $6 million. I'm not looking in front of me, so I'm not.
I mean,
too
it's
sure.
it's too much. I mean,
a lot of croissants.
Whatever it is, it's too much. I mean, that's the thing. I'm more really concerned, and I sort of think it's funny that they made so much a point of him. I'm more concerned about the Danny Green situation, like what we've been talking about. I think that we need to get rid of him, but I just don't know if it's really worth it to get rid of him because of the way that our cap situation really is. So we've talked about this on and off about how the cap situation, it looks like it could work out. Like we could make Durant work, for instance, right?
Yeah.
But we have to make a lot of things, like a lot of things have to come into play.
Yeah. I mean, the
It's
whole
not
roster
just
will
them.
have to change if Kevin Durant's going to come here.
It's not just them too. So you're talking about now, why do you need to get rid of Green then at that point? If you're not going to really get anything quality back for him, then why do you get rid of him? You know what I mean? He's a great defender.
Yep.
I thought his defense
was great.
Was great.
It was
I
just
mean,
his lapse in
shooting.
offense that
exactly. And so
Can he get that back?
Sure.
and yeah,
Why
it's
not?
possible. I
Chip.
mean,
Coach Chip.
it goes back to probability, like what we talk about. You have games where you're bad. You could have seasons that you're bad in reality if you look at probability. But the thing is that you're paying him a lot of money, and that's why a lot of people look at him and they're like, well, you're paying you too much money and you're missing a lot of threes.
Can I be honest? I think this Durant thing is like the Raiders to San Antonio.
Yeah, I really.
Oh yeah, I think we're all in agreement with
We're
that.
putting way too much love on it.
got that
because
stank
I've
all over.
already said that my belief is that Durant's going to stay in Oklahoma City. He'll probably sign a 2-year deal, get his max money for those 2 years, and his second year will probably be a player option that he'll probably opt out at, and then really
Go in
max
LA.
it. Yeah, I mean, who knows where he'll go? Maybe he will come into San Antonio after that, but this summer I just don't see it happening.
Not after the season they had. I mean,
No, I mean,
it
really,
seems so
why
close.
would you leave Oklahoma City when you just beat the Spurs in the playoffs?
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense to come down to San Antonio when the team that you're on already can beat the Spurs.
Mm-hmm.
Oklahoma did come out and say they're very excited to announce they will probably be keeping Derek Waiters. I'm not kidding. And it was like a big...
I totally thought it was going to be a
it's
joke.
not a
I was
joke.
waiting.
It was a lot of build up on Twitter, and then it turned out to be Derek Waiters, and it was like, oh, good for you, congratulations.
I think
right.
nobody was more happier than he was.
Yeah. So we'll continue with the Spurs topic. So once again, Marc Gasol supposedly is pushing his brother Pau to sign with the Spurs. Thoughts?
If I was his brother, I'd be punching him. Get off.
Because he's
Well,
lowering
he's
his value at that point.
but
But
You're
he's
not
not going
helping
back
me.
to the. But he's not.
He's not
going
gonna go back to the Bulls. No, he's
and
not.
He was close to coming here in the first place. So it's not such a bad idea. I think he'd say. In other words, it's just a vocal thing. It doesn't really mean that he's going to do it per se.
Right.
But Mark, shut up. You're not helping him.
He's not helping his case in a lot of ways.
But I mean, I think that's more probable than Durant. That's for sure.
I think he was thinking
I
about
think so,
himself.
too.
I think he was thinking about himself too. He's like, God, I wanted a Memphis.
They won 2 Gasols.
Okay, so let's talk about another free agent that his name has kind of been dropped with the Spurs, and that's Joakim Noah. So now they're saying that Noah is 100% now. He's healthy again.
Of course, he hasn't played.
He hasn't played in a while. And-
Everyone's 100% beginning of season.
Right. So his name has been dropped with the Spurs that San Antonio might be a spot for him to land. So what are your thoughts on Joakim Noah being in the silver and black?
I'm not a fan of Mr. Noah, so I don't think I'd really like to have him on the team. I
haven't liked him since his days in Florida. But at the same time, I think I'm willing to change all that if he goes into silver and black. Will he be useful for less money? Yeah. Think
That's
so.
my whole thing. I think you can get him at a deal. That's kind of my whole
he's
thing.
very injury prone though. I can't remember a year
But you
that
don't
he
need him
wasn't
that
out-
much.
But I can't remember a year he wasn't out for at least 10, 15 games, one season. And the thing is that what does he really bring to you that we don't have? He has some athleticism, but he really is doofy. I mean,
He's athletic. He has pretty good defense, but his offense is horrible.
It's
and he's
Terrible.
doofy.
Yeah.
Dude, I would think about we think about the things we struggle with. We struggle with offense. We struggle with athleticism. Those are the things. So we get a guy who's okay. He gives you the athletic part, but good lord, he cannot shoot. the
And we
ball.
struggle when players get injured. And if he's so prone, he's like a car sitting on the lot at CarMax. He might pass the 50-point checklist for next season, but he's gonna get a ding and his transmission's gonna go out. So keep him on the lot. I don't want
It's
him.
called a lemon. That's what
Yeah,
they're
he
called,
is a
sir.
lemon. Joakim Lemon.
Joakim Lemon. Wow. Okay, so what have we missed since we've been on? So let's go. Well, we've been kind of talking the news or whatever. So I just kind of want to mention a couple of things.
The loss of a great former player in the NBA and potential head coach nominee.
who?
Kimbo Slice? I thought
No,
that's
no,
where
Slice?
we're going,
Oh my
but no.
God.
Yeah, Kimbo
Muhammad Ali?
Slice dead at the age of 42, heart failure.
That wasn't
Pretty
what I was
sad.
talking
It's got to be
about.
drugs.
Muhammad Ali.
Moving on. Go. Yes.
Well, go ahead. Continue.
I'm done with it now.
Go ahead, Clay.
I'm out of here.
No, you're not.
I'm
Go ahead.
leaving.
Continue.
You take over.
Who do you want?
I'm out of here.
Do you remember who he was?
Who are you talking about?
No, I don't. It was just-
Oh my God! It's Sean Rooks. Sean Rooks.
no, that's not who I was talking about.
Who were you
What?
talking about then?
My dreams.
Oh,
Keep
wait.
going.
What?
Oh my God! So there was a guy who
God.
died.
Okay, so
There's
Sean
plenty of
Rooks
people that died
But
this
this
week.
one
died
was
of
the one
heart
that-
disease.
Yes.
He actually died of a heart attack.
Not
in
a
front of
good
his
week for the
family.
Hearts.
Yeah, he had actually just interviewed for a coaching position with the Knicks, and it was that night after the interview that he passed away.
God, that's awful.
It's pretty
And of
sad.
course, the greatest Muhammad Ali did pass away.
Yes.
Yeah, Muhammad Ali
Don't wanna
did
make
pass away
light
as
of that.
well. Very true. Ben Simmons, the number one draft pick to be, signed a 5-year deal worth $12 million with Nike. That's insane.
He hasn't played.
He hasn't played a minute of NBA basketball, but the kid's getting $12 million to wear Nike.
I'm not going to blame him.
No,
mean,
I know, right?
Like, don't hate the game.
You know, he has people that his handlers are brilliant. I mean, the guy really hasn't really shown much other than the 1 year at LSU, which he didn't play for the last half of the LSU season. And he's going to be the number one pick. He's got a Nike deal. They call him the next LeBron. Whoever his handlers are, they're just geniuses.
Yeah,
Like,
well, one thing I do want to bring up, which I thought was really hilarious, when LSU played Texas A&M at College Station, the Aggie fans actually started chanting Philadelphia to him. And he had a crappy night there in College Station. I just thought that was really
That's funny because that would happen if he goes to Philadelphia. He'd have a crappy life in Philadelphia.
He would, yeah. Okay, so Zika virus. Let's talk about Zika virus for a second,
Beautiful.
because everyone is terrified of Zika virus, and for the reason of that, 6
Why?
people have left the Team USA roster, including Steph Curry, LaMarcus Aldridge, Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, Anthony Davis, and John Wall.
everybody has ejected themselves. I like how Aldridge said, "My fingers hurt, so I'm not going." That's
Exactly.
just, you got the biggest honor ever to play in the Olympics, and you said your finger hurts, sir.
Yeah,
There's plenty of problems with the Olympics. Zika is the least of their worries at the moment.
How did he hurt that finger?
Remember?
Pointing out the problems of the Olympics.
oh, wasn't it like jammed right?
Yeah,
when
he
that
jammed it.
happened?
He
Yeah.
jammed it like late in the season.
There you go. Minnesota Timberwolves will pursue Bulls free agent Joakim Noah. And, of course,
Take him.
who's the head coach of the Timberwolves now?
Tom Thibodeau.
Thibodeau, that's right. And he did love he loved him some Joakim Noah, so he will be going after it. Courtney Lee supposedly will get a deal worth 11 to 14 million this year in summer free agency. That's absolutely insane.
Ridiculous. Courtney Lee is the most one-sided player ever. That guy has like a one-dimensional game if I've ever seen one.
Exactly. Wesley Johnson of the Clippers did opt out of his contract. So did Clippers guard Austin Rivers. So he's trying to test a free agent.
Bye, Dad.
I bet you he don't get anything. Nobody wants him.
Yeah, he's over.
I'd be really surprised if he got more cash than what the Clippers were going to pay him.
How much would they pay him? You think?
Roughly. I'm thinking his deal has to be like maybe a max of $3 million a year, max. Like that's really pushing it. But for some reason, he thinks that he's going to get a whole lot more. I don't think that we talked about, since we were off last week, we didn't talk about Jeff Hornacek becoming the head coach of the New York Knicks, did we?
We're just finalizing it.
Well, it just finalized it, but we kind of knew about that was going to end up happening.
Coaches go to die.
Exactly, because I still don't understand why in the world would you want Jeff Hornacek? He had a young, talented team in Phoenix, and he did nothing with them.
They're the Cleveland Browns of the NBA.
You're not kidding, man.
I mean, they have some parts that are good. I mean, you've got Porzingis who surprised everybody.
Yeah,
Yes.
that kid's awesome.
That surprised everybody. Anthony seems to be changing into a little bit of a team player. That's good, and we don't know if it lasts. And then now they've got a pretty good pick in the draft. So,
Yeah, very true.
I mean, they're on the up and up, but the thing is that what did Hornacek prove to anybody?
I don't think he proved anything, but whatever.
Maybe he just interviewed better.
Maybe so. Boston Celtics have also extended the contract of head coach Brad Stevens, and GM Danny Ainge.
That was a good move on both.
That's a really good move.
That guy
I think Ainge
Stevens
has done some great things for them.
Stevens has turned it around completely. He's got those guys believing, even though when they suck, that they can actually win. I remember seeing them play the Warriors over that Warriors game late in the season. Man, that was like the most intense that I've ever seen a team like fight somebody. Like they knew that they could beat them, and they were just like hungry for it. Like, and even though the Warriors were playing very well in that game, they came at them, and it's because of the way Stevens has them. He has them just believing, even though that they're very average.
And speaking of a coach that did really well, Dwayne Casey got a 3-year, $18 million contract extension with the Toronto Raptors, which I think that's a huge thing for their franchise. I still kind of feel he should have won Coach of the Year, but that's just me. Let's see what else. I don't know if there's anything else I kind of want to talk about. Markieff and Marcus Morris took a private charter back to Philadelphia, and Customs busted them with marijuana all over the plane.
Oh, God.
Was it the Soul plane?
We should talk about the National Basketball Referees Association and how they want to get rid of the what is it, the L2M reporting?
That proves they listened to the podcast. We talked about it 3 weeks ago.
Because weeks ago, didn't we talk about how stupid that report was? Well, we made a mistake, but we're not going to do anything about it. And then everybody would get upset with them. And so the refs are like, we don't like that. No kidding.
We don't like when when we mess up.
We didn't like it either.
We don't like transparency, unnecessary transparency.
And then finally, Grizzlies Vince Carter wins Teammate of the Year award.
needed
NBA
something.
announces
Congratulations.
the T-Wolves
your
Kevin Garnett
participation?
finished seconds and seconds, and Miami's Chris Bosh finished third.
Well, he had nothing else to do, so being a good teammate was the least thing. What?
That was just wrong. Anyways, we got a great new show for you today. Got a brand new segment by Clay and brand new Spurs in the City. Got crazy stories of the week, Facebook posts of the week. We'll talk some more NBA playoffs, the NBA finals, and some other silly antics that we have for you. You're listening to the Go Spurs Go Memes podcast. We'll be back in a bit. All right, now for the most boring segment, the NBA Finals.
Those are still going on?
It's still happening. Cavs just beat the Warriors, which means this stupid thing's going to be prolonged. I don't even care. I really wanted this just to be a sweep so it'd be done and we could get to all the good, juicy rumors, all the crazy free agency stuff. and talk, well, I really don't want to put up with ESPN's like, oh, Warriors are going to go 3-peat.
I like how your hands doing the Randy Macho Man thing. Ooh,
You're like,
they're gonna
oh,
go
brother, ooh, yeah.
Can we first, before we go into
Snap
this
into
finals
his
thing, talk about how wrong we were about the Thunder and how they choked terribly?
Well, we kind of talked about it last time, didn't we?
No,
We all
last
played
time
it
we were in
safe.
studio. Last time we were in studio, Thunder were poised to win in 6.
No, and we
Oh, you
played
know
it-
what, Clay? You are right. We were. Yeah, you're right.
And
yeah.
we all called it. Thunder.
We were
taking
like,
it.
Thunder, this is done. The Warriors.
the Thunderdome.
I said the safe thing. The only safe thing I said was like, okay,
Okay.
yes, they're more than likely to be done, but the only people who are the anomaly is the Warriors. So anybody who could come back was going to be the
Was gonna be the
And I
Warriors.
believe I
And I was
said-
right. Woo!
I believe I said
but-
stranger things have happened, and they did.
But we all basically said
Yeah.
the Warriors
We were
just
wrong.
needed a moment, and it didn't surprise any of us. We saw it coming. It happened.
But my favorite thing is we're always chatting with each other during the game, so we're sending all these messages. But the funniest thing what happened is Game 6, the minute Golden State won it, all of us just said, yeah, Golden State's going to blow out Game 7 right there.
It's funny how that happened, right?
But it's true.
Everybody's
Yeah,
so
we
funny.
completely felt that was what was going to happen.
I think that was hilarious because in reality they were talking about like before Game 7, right? They said before Game 7 that really the Warriors had only really played really effective basketball for like about 19 minutes of the whole series, right? They had only led for 19 minutes of the series up until that Game 6 thing at the end, of it,
Right.
where they were actually the plus minus was in their favor, and yet everybody's mind said, oh yeah, they're done. And
Yeah.
yet the Thunder had dominated the series, up until
including
that point.
ours. Our mindset was
Yeah,
the
and it's
Warriors are done.
crazy. And
But
it's
I think this whole Western Conference, all this entire playoff series, it doesn't matter which one you look at. Everybody was basically wrong on how they thought everything was going to play out. Everybody thought that the Warriors would sweep Houston. They didn't. Everybody thought the Spurs would take out the Thunder, and quickly they didn't.
Don't remind me.
And everybody thought the Warriors were just going to just sweep the Thunder. That didn't happen. It probably was one of the best playoff matchups that we've seen ever.
Yeah, it
I would
really
dare
was
say.
the
It
NBA
was-
Finals.
It was. It totally was the NBA Finals. What's happening right now in Cleveland is just basically a waste of time, which is why I think most of us Spurs fans are just basically over the NBA Finals. We just don't really care.
So what you're saying is Toronto should have beat Cleveland
Yes.
to have a more exciting final.
No, because that would have been even worse.
Yeah.
Actually, I
would've
think
been so
Oklahoma and Cleveland would have been a really, really good series. However, that's not the case. What I'm loving right now is that Golden State, of course, are going to give away a game because what you want to do, you want to lift people's hearts up and hopes up in order to crush them.
Stomp on their face.
I still think Golden State's going to beat Cleveland. I don't think Cleveland has a way of
Oh yeah,
beating.
it's
beating Golden
like
State,
smashing
so.
pubes defeat. Horrible.
What?
Wow.
Pubes to feet?
That's an analogy right there.
Oh my
That's a great
gosh.
That's a good one.
Anyways,
Well, you're shaved bald, man. So
It's for streamlining.
So yeah, I don't know how in depth you guys want to talk about the NBA Finals because I think if you saw Game 1, it was more competitive than we thought. Warriors won by 15. Game 2, Warriors just
30.
shot lights out, destroyed the Cavs, and then tonight the
They
Warriors
lose by 30.
weren't themselves at all. Their shooting was horrible. Cavs were shooting over 50%. They were doing really well from three-point land. So the Cavs kind of turned it around. But I will say this. I've always felt that Cleveland plays better at home than they do on the road. So even going by that, I still think Golden State wins it no matter what the series kind of ends at.
So let's talk about the big difference that we see.
Kevin Love.
Yeah, exactly. Kevin Love
difference we
basically
don't see.
got donkey punched
he
during the
did.
game, and he was out. He went on concussion protocol.
He really did.
And
My God!
What's funny was
JR,
he went at,
JR was in Cleveland tonight.
My God, Kevin Love's down. Get in there, ref. Get in there. Stop this. By golly, he got taken to the woodshed. My God. My God.
Wow, we went way too far with that.
Well, when Clay's in studio, we're going to have a reference to JR. It's just going to happen
I love
at some
Jim.
point or another.
And I have met Jim. He knows I love Jim.
Anyway, so Kevin Love wasn't there tonight. And I dare say that was the reason why Cleveland did so well. What I did find really funny is at the beginning, right before this game went on, Vince Carter was with some of the finals analysts whatever, and they were on live on Facebook, I think it was, and Vince Carter said Kevin Love not playing was going to allow the Cavs to play better tonight. He gave this whole list of reasons why he thought the Cavs were going to do really well. He was right.
And
was right.
And that's why he's teammate of the year.
And that's why he's teammate of the year. He knows what's up.
So let's talk about why this might have happened. This
Okay,
game.
go for it,
Let's
buddy.
talk about the anomaly of this game, right? So, in the last game, Draymond Green had like 26 points and about 11 rebounds. This game, he had only 6 points and 7 rebounds. So he was actually like very much nullified in this game, right?
Right.
You have Curry, who has 19 points on 6 of 13 shooting. You have Thompson, who had actually played pretty well. He only had 10 points in this game. Now, here's some things. So you say the Cavs say, okay, well, they had a great game. They won by 30. Okay, but there's some problems here. The biggest problem is that two of their scorers, they scored 120 points. Two of their scorers scored 32 points. James scored 32 points. He had 11 rebounds, 6 assists, nearly a triple-double again. Kyrie Irving had 30 points on 12 of 25 shooting, right?
So he did way better.
He did way better in this game. Now, J.R. Smith had a breakout game. The last 2 games, he was awful. This game, he had 20 points, right? But we all know J.R. Smith is not the most consistent.
No, he's not.
He
Not
is
at all.
Very inconsistent. After that, it's a humongous drop-off. You have Tristan Thompson with 14 points.
That's
And
surprising to me. I thought he'd do a little
Their
more.
bench got a total, I think, of 2, 4, 7, 11. They got a total of 14 points from their bench.
Wow.
Which is what been the problem with the Cavs in the whole first place.
Right.
So you have Irving, who has an off game. You're done.
You're done.
I mean, you're done. I mean,
Very good point, yeah.
So, I mean, this is great for Cavs, but all it needs is Curry to be a little bit better, Thompson to be a little bit better, and they're done.
Yeah, and then mind you, Thompson went out earlier in this game because he did get
got
left
mozgoffed.
thigh
got donkey punched
contusion. So he went, he got donkey punched in the thigh. So he went out for a little bit. Anyways, all right, enough talking about the NBA Finals. Let's go back to Spurs. I think the big question on everybody's minds, or questions, I should say, on everybody's mind is, will Timmy retire and will Manu retire?
Should we make predictions on this now?
I think it'll be one.
What's the over-under?
I mean, honestly, I think it's probably going to be one, but not both.
Think so?
To do
Yeah,
what? To
I just
stay
don't know
or
one to retire, one to stay.
Well, that doesn't matter. Does it?
Oh man, I if Tim Duncan comes back, why?
Yeah.
That's what I say.
That's exactly kind of
break
there.
records? He could break some
He
records.
doesn't care about
He doesn't care about
records.
records,
I
though.
don't. Yeah, who knows why then?
Well, I mean,
Get his
and
swan
what
song like
record?
Robinson?
And at this
I don't
point,
know.
I don't even know what record he's close to at this point.
Yeah, I honestly think they're both coming back.
A 6th ring?
You think they're both coming
I think
back?
they're both coming
You
back.
think so?
I'm with
yeah,
Ray.
yeah, because I think if they were going to retire, we would have already known.
Is Manu? Is he playing in the Olympic team
Yes.
this year?
Yes, he is.
Yes.
Yeah, he's supposed to be.
Because he knows this is going to be his last time with the
Right.
play.
Oh, okay.
But I just think that I don't understand why. I mean, like Manu, I can see him. You know, it's what's funny. I can see him coming back. I don't see Tim coming back. I just don't. I mean, I don't understand why he want to. He likes the game, but I don't think he likes the game that much. To be honest with you.
Yeah, I don't think that neither one of them
And that
would
car business is
prolong
taking off.
this whole thing to say, like, are they going to do it? Are they not going to do it? They're just not those type of players. So I really kind of feel if they weren't going to come back, they would have already announced it. Sure, it's a difficult decision. I'm sure they're taking some time with it, and that's why we haven't heard anything. I just kind of feel like if they were not going to be coming back, we would know already.
I don't know. It's such a bad idea if they both come back.
Oh, I agree. I really think that we need to move on.
I think there'll be some contract rearranging if they come back. I think potentially
There should be some contract rearranging,
There might
but
be some less money.
There's
but-
no guarantee there. And I mean, really, if you think about it, let them come back. The cap's going to blow up the following year anyways.
No, that's a good
So
point too.
let them
So-
go after that. You'll have even more room, and then you can really go out and do some things.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know? That's
Sounds
just
good.
how I'm kind of looking at it.
Tim, Emanu, if you're listening to this, if you'd like to chime in, please call our number. We'd love to hear a voicemail from you. Ray, what's that number?
848-GO-SPURS. That's 848-467-7877.
And Manu, I really want to mow your lawn.
Is that some kind of reference to something?
I'll do it for free.
You're actually talking about
I will.
grass.
Yeah, I will. I am talking to Manu Ginobili specifically. I will mow your lawn for free.
And Manu, Frank does an amazing job,
He really gets those edges.
especially
He'll blow it up too.
he's amazing with the weed whacker. Just trust him. Frank does a great job.
Great job.
Anyways, we'll be back. We're gonna do a review of X-Men Apocalypse.
Apocalypse.
Yeah, that's exactly how I felt about
It's
the movie.
impeccable.
Anyways, we'll be back in a bit. You're listening to Go Spurs Go Memes.
Hey guys, Clay's here with Spurs of the City. You know, I'm your correspondent in the streets, and I'm all over the city of San Antonio, and I have found the missing links. Jack, Sean, why are you here? Where have you been, Sean?
Well, this is the best place to panhandle in the state. The Pearl Brewery down here in the Southland. I don't know. What do you want from me? You said I couldn't come back. What?
Jack, why don't you have any pants on is my next question.
Man, it's only an internship. Like, it's school's out. Like, I can do whatever I want now.
We need you. We have no statistics. We have no analyticals.
But we're not playing basketball either, so we're
How
fine.
many days till football?
87, I think, maybe 86.
Good year. Are you guys coming back anytime soon? I have a rose on your chair. You would, as soon as we lost Emilio, we lost you, and I don't like that.
I don't want to say that Jack and I are hiding because of an Emilio-esque situation, but that's all I can say right now. I gotta leave.
Like, Sean, come back. Jack, what, are you going to be back in the studio anytime soon?
No comment. You can talk with my agent.
Guys, reporting somberly from the streets. Your correspondent of the street. My name is Clay with Spurs in the City. I'm going back to the guys in the studio, and those guys are not Sean or Jack. Guys.
By God, the Go Spurs Go Meme podcast is about to ruin this movie. Don't do it. Don't do it. My God, somebody stop this.
Oh yeah, that smooth jazz means that it's time to review another movie. And today we will be reviewing X-Men Apocalypse. This was such a great cartoon.
It was, wasn't it?
And I hate Marvel, and I love this cartoon. Like, how could you not?
It was pretty bad though. Like at times.
Oh yeah, it was bad, but I mean, it had all the villains.
You watch cartoons now, and then you watch this, and it's just so bad.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just like G.I. Joe.
Oh, but G.I. Joe is awesome too. I'm gonna keep shooting. I don't run out of bullets, but I don't hit anything. Anyways, so X-Men Apocalypse. I'd like to start off with saying that I really loved the reboot that they basically did with the X-Men. So the younger cast started with X-Men First Class. Loved Kevin Bacon as Sebastian Shaw, the villain. I thought it had a really good story.
Did you hate him as a villain though? I didn't like him as a
I
villain.
liked him as a villain. I really did.
He didn't do anything.
But okay, here's the thing. Sebastian Shaw is a ripoff of Vandal Savage from DC, and Vandal Savage is one of my favorite villains that has not been on in the big screen or anything. And so with Sebastian Shaw, seeing him there, I was just kind of like, oh, I really like that. Like I kind of saw the Vandal Savage type character there, so I really liked it. But I also liked that in that movie they kind of started bringing out other mutants that you had never seen before. And so I thought just X-Men First Class was really well done. Okay, sorry, skip that movie. On to the next one, Days of Future Past, which I absolutely loved. The comic is 1,000 times better than what the movie is.
And it was still good.
But it was still good. It was still just a really good movie. Great mix of the new cast and the old cast. You had Wolverine in there, which is, of course, is the X-Men everybody wants to see. And then now we have X-Men Apocalypse, which kind of concludes the trilogy, even though the story is going to keep on going because, of course, it still makes money. I have to say that I was really looking forward to X-Men Apocalypse. I had some high hopes for the film, but again, my biggest issue with superhero films is a crappy villain, and I really felt that they really wasted Apocalypse, and I thought Oscar Isaac was a horrible Apocalypse. I didn't believe him, and my biggest thing, I kid you not, if you have not seen X-Men Apocalypse, Oscar Isaac has a lisp when he does the... Apocalypse voice. So I couldn't. Once I heard the gay lisp, I couldn't get over it after that. I could not stop seeing that and hearing that, and so I just lost all credibility for me there. So
That's like Batman in the previous Batman movies.
It
was Batman with the lisp.
Yeah, it was horrible. Yeah. And I couldn't get over Oscar Isaac with that lisp. And so I just didn't care. But then, too, I think the problem with this movie is they try to do too much. So you really didn't have time to really get to know Jean Grey, Cyclops, and then they were just like, I can't see, my eyes hurt, laser beams, burn everybody.
Okay, so this goes into the thing I was telling you about, right? So great, we love X-Men, right? And we all liked X-Men because we like the facets of the characters. There's so much like diversity kind of things going on.
No, screw that. They all had awesome powers, and there was lots of them.
No, I don't care about the diversity of like black, white, or anything like that. I'm just talking about the differences between them.
Whoa.
There's stories. Oh no, let's not turn into that.
Who brought that up?
So the thing is that, and this goes into the whole problem with like, and this is where I think, and unfortunately you're not going to agree with me with this. This is what's going to happen with the Justice League thing, right?
Sure.
So you have like a comic, right? You guys are all comic fans, and you take a comic like X-Men and you say, okay, well, it's taken me months to really give a crap about Wolverine, to give a crap about Psylocke, to give a crap about Jean Grey. It's taken me months to figure that out. And now you're stuffing all of these characters into 2 hours, and you expect me to give a crap about all of them. It just doesn't work. I mean, and that's the problem with the team movies. The singular movies work really well because they only concentrate on their story then at that point, right? That's why I like the singular movies better than the team movies, because then you're just sort of throwing all of this crap together. The only one that's done it well so far, I think, is the first Avengers, and that's it. That's the only one that's done it very well so far. But that's because they had a lot of context before that point.
See, but I thought the Avengers did a good job of balancing out the screen time between all the heroes. So besides Iron Man, everyone else basically had an essential role in the film, like the same amount of
Except
time
Black
and everything.
Widow.
Well, yeah, I mean, that's Black Widow and Hawkeye. We say it all the time, but they're just throwaway characters that are just there to say like,
I can't
we're
wait till
human.
they throw them away.
Yeah.
He hates Black Widow.
Anyways, so back to X-Men, and so like you mentioned Psylocke. She was in that for maybe a minute.
Yeah, mind you, just to see her body.
Maybe a minute.
It was just to see her body.
That was
it.
really it. Storm's barely in it as well.
And mind you, she's one of the most integral characters of the X-Men.
Psylocke, the one played by Olivia Munn?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's barely in the film at all.
She doesn't talk more than 2 lines.
Like you know
time
that
was
whole
the exact
preview.
same.
Yes. So that preview of her slicing the car open
was about the best thing.
That's about half of her entire screen time.
Sad. That's why I wanted to go see it.
No, it's a waste.
And her
it's a
powers
total
were
waste.
amazing.
She's my favorite character.
She is one of the powers were amazing that she had.
Yeah,
and
well-
they didn't showcase them at all. Like Angel was completely a throwaway character. And I
Yes.
think he's always been a throwaway character.
Yeah, and so was Nightcrawler. That was a throwaway character.
But he did pretty well, though. I did like him. I did like the way that they...
He had the accent. That was about it. He had the
and
accent.
the random parade.
Yeah, you know.
Soviet Russia,
yes.
mutants disappear everywhere.
He sounded like Yakov Smirnoff. He was good. He was golden. Let's see. But the whole Cyclops,
He's German.
Jean Grey thing really bothered me because these are like the future leaders of the X-Men. They don't really get into Cyclops too much. He's barely learning about his power. He just got his powers, so he's kind of seen as a freak. Jean Grey is already so powerful that nobody likes her and nobody trusts her. And then out of nowhere, Phoenix, fire! I'm that powerful. And it was just kind of like, you jumped the shark there.
I did like Jean Grey, though. And the reason why I like Jean Grey was because of the fact that I thought she came off much more confident than any of the other places that you ever see her in. So like in the cartoon and in the other X-Men movies.
I don't know if I agree with that.
She was not confident at all. In this one, at the end of it, she became very confident, I thought. Even though she seemed like you wouldn't have thought that with the whole Phoenix thing, right?
Right.
But she seemed very confident, like she knew that she could overtake Apocalypse at the end because of the Phoenix thing, right? But
see, I didn't see it that way. I understand where you're coming from about that whole thing, but that whole ending thing. Here's another thing that I had a problem with this film is that at the end of this film, Mystique is a good guy. Or the whole film, Mystique is a good guy now.
Well, they changed that.
Yeah, they changed that, so she's a good guy now. And at the end of this film, Magneto's a good guy now.
which he essentially is in the comics, anyways.
No, he's like one of the number one Marvel villains.
Well, but I mean, toward now, he's like he's the guy who runs the school now. He has the New Mutants. So
I don't read Marvel.
He runs the New Mutants, so like another X-Men team. So and he runs the school.
So that might
Is it
be
like
where they're
sword and
headed.
shield kind of thing?
Well,
Is that
Xavier
what
is
it
off in some kind of world with some space girlfriend or something like that now, and now so the only one left to run the school is Magneto, and Magneto's not. He's changed his ways. That's the thing.
Yeah, I can't buy into that.
I like that concept. I really do
like
because
it?
everybody knows that Magneto was the bad guy for the longest time, and now we're okay. We're done with the bad guy thing already. The only thing I hate about Magneto now is that it's the same situation in all of these 3 movies. He's
Right.
poor sad guy at the beginning. Something really
Yes.
bad you find out happens to him, and then he turns it around and then helps them out. And then he's like, now I'm gonna go back to being the poor sad
And
guy.
that'll
again.
probably be the next one
That-
where he
he's
goes
gonna,
into.
You're gonna
he's
find
gonna
another
be
wife
bad.
and a child to kill. Good job. You know what I mean? That's
He's
like,
gonna be bad again before you know
yeah,
it.
that's what I don't understand about his character. Like, he should have stayed at the school at the end of the movie, and that's what I didn't like. I was like, really? I was like, you're gonna stay there ultimately anyways. Just stay there.
And then I kind of felt like they forced the Wolverine cameo in for
Oh.
no reason. Like there really wasn't a need for it, but it was like that Spider-Man moment. Like you really didn't need it, but Spider-Man's here, and it was kind of the same thing with Wolverine.
It was an interesting thing to show some context as to what Jean Grey's link with him ultimately was.
Okay. I had an issue with that too.
Oh, here
so,
we go.
so there's a moment where Hugh Jackman and Jean Grey, I forget what the actress's name is, but
Sansa
it's
Stark.
Sansa Stark. They kind of stare at each other,
That's what I got. I was
and
gonna say
they
that.
have like this weird, creepy pedo moment.
Hey, we don't know how young. Oh no, he can't be young. He's old.
Well, no, I mean he's old and she's
Civil War.
young. Like she's high school, I would assume. Like
Yeah,
what,
she was
high school?
about 16.
And he's like what, like 40 something is Wolverine.
Oh,
you
he
know,
lived for years,
Oh, he lived
remember?
for years. That's right. So he's super old.
200.
But they have this moment
like
that's
Twilight.
total like.
Yeah,
You know,
true.
like,
But
there's
they
just
didn't
this
show.
messed up-
It wasn't anything sexual about.
No,
that
no,
thing.
but that whole little scene of them together, and you can see like the attraction, I don't know. It was just a weird scene that just did not come off right because of the age difference between the two.
But I think it's a guiding force for him. It's like
Yeah.
he puts a calming force into him to where he uses her as a guiding light in the future to try to like calm his mind. is what
Right.
he did.
No. And I think everybody knows that, but I think that whole scene was very awkward.
But
Yeah, I
doesn't
understand.
Wolverine have the consciousness of the future since the last movie? He was from the future, and
No,
does he know what's going to happen?
No, so basically the
Well, that is a good
Wolverine that's
point,
in okay,
actually.
so the Wolverine that's in the future
Oh no, he
is
doesn't.
not the Wolverine that's in this film.
She controls the
So,
one in the
so
past.
if you remember at the end of Days of Future Past, okay, so now we're gonna mess with timelines here. Okay, so stupid.
It's turned into an episode of Doctor
Yeah,
Who.
it really is. So at the end of Days of Future Past, you see Wolverine wake up in the present. He's at the school. The school has students. He sees Cyclops and Jean Grey again. He's kind of freaking out. Okay, that Wolverine is not in this movie. Okay. Also, at the end of Days of Future Past, you also see that they find Wolverine's body at the bottom of the lake in front of the Washington Monument.
And Mystique
okay?
is-
and
yeah.
Mystique and Stryker get him out.
Mystique is
Well,
Stryker.
Mystique is
Mystique is
Stryker.
Stryker.
Okay. So in this film,
wait a
that's the Wolverine that they see, the one that was rescued from.
remember because he had bones still on at that point too.
Yeah.
Because he
Oh,
didn't
but
have,
you're right, because
he
his
didn't have
consciousness
adamantium.
when it went back to the future, I mean,
Right.
he had that
So
lapse
basi-
of memory.
Yeah, so
right,
basically
right.
she was controlling him.
So the crazy Wolverine you see in X-Men Apocalypse is the one that was left in 1960s.
Yeah.
That's the Wolverine that's there. So
And he
that
still
Wolverine
has yet to reform to the Wolverine
to
in
the
the
ones we
future.
know, correct?
Well, no. He kind of does like the Wolverine in X-Men Apocalypse
Is
is
Weapon
the
X.
Is Weapon X is essentially what he is. So he already has the adamantium put into him, all that good stuff, and he's crazy insane. And so in the couple minutes that he's in this film, he
murders
kills
everybody.
about 35
Like,
people.
horribly too, mind you. He just-
Yeah, like I think people start saying like you basically saw like Wolverine's berserker rage. Like
Yeah.
everybody knows about that. So where you just go like chinkity chankity chank, snoochie boochies, whatever it is that he's
Chicken?
Can you do that one more time, sir?
shinkity shink shink shink, you know, with the blades. Anyways, so X-Men Apocalypse. I say wait for DVD. I just say
I could wait for
DVD.
it. Honestly, as much as I did like it, I could wait for it too because it wasn't
Interesting.
that great.
It wasn't that great.
It
Like,
was
I
okay.
expected so much more because I thought Days of Future Past was so good. I was really expecting it to kind of
Magneto
take off
bothered
after
me.
that, and I was just like, man, come on.
Huh.
I was really
Okay,
disappointed
wait,
with it.
I will wait for DVD then.
Yeah, wait for DVD.
Wait for
I will say this: the Wolverine movie coming out,
Old Man Logan, I don't care about
Old
that.
Man
I
Logan, will
don't
feature
care.
Patrick Stewart again as Professor Xavier, even though he said
cares?
he wouldn't get back in the wheelchair.
Who cares?
So he is suiting back up again.
So let me ask you a question. What's the next superhero film coming up?
Suicide Squad.
Suicide Squad.
Not Doctor
August.
Strange?
Suicide Squad. Doctor Strange is September, I think.
Oh, Suicide Squad.
So it's Suicide Squad, then it's Doctor Strange,
I'm not hyped about that.
and then
I'm very hyped about Suicide Squad.
oh yeah, I can't wait for Suicide
No,
Squad.
Suicide Squad, yes. Doctor Strange.
I don't know enough
wanna
about
see-
Doctor Strange, so I really and I don't like Benedict Cumberbatch. So
He's
I'm
a
just
great
like,
dragon.
man,
That's
He's
about it.
fantastic, man.
I don't like him. He was Khan, but he wasn't Khan.
I don't like you.
I don't really care.
Damn you.
Anyways, and then at the end of X-Men Apocalypse, you get your teaser,
Oh.
which
Oh,
is
they do?
they put a teaser at the end, so they basically
what?
get hold of Wolverine's blood, and then you see a suitcase that says Essex Corporation. That is basically telling you that the guy holding it is Mr. Sinister, who is a big Marvel villain.
That they'll ruin.
Yeah, and so exactly the ruin.
It's so
I don't even know how
complicated.
you could do Mr. Sinister because Mr. Sinister has his powers because of Apocalypse, but Apocalypse is dead. And then Mr. Sinister causes Cable to be born. And then he makes Weapon X2, X3. It's the girl with the two
Yes.
claws. So I don't know. Now it's getting like freaking confusing with where they're going, but that's basically it.
Is
So-
Deadpool going to be involved in any of these?
Now, supposedly they're saying that they want to bring him in, but they're trying to finish the X-Men story first before they bring Deadpool
Is there any
in.
licensing things with problems with
Who
Deadpool?
puts out
No,
Deadpool?
it's all 20th Century Fox.
So
They
it's all the same thing, right?
20th Century Fox owns the rights to every Marvel mutant.
Got it.
So anybody associated with them belongs to them.
Got it.
Yeah. So, anyways, that's movie review. X-Men Apocalypse.
That is a hard
Whatever. I can't.
I'm a
Over it.
The
end.
The end. We'll be back in a bit.
Circus, Afro circus, Afro circus, Afro polka dot, Afro.
And that amazing intro means that it's time for crazy stories of the week. Buddy, what do you got for us?
Okay, so guys, I'm going to give you options here. I
Cool.
want to give you guys
Excited.
options. You can pick New York, Cuba, or Iran. Which one do you want?
Ooh, definitely Iran.
I was gonna say Iran. You got to go Iran.
All right, so
And Iran.
the article starts with
so far away.
I don't know the any word.
I gotta get away.
who does that song? Anyways, moving forward.
Grand Theft Auto.
The article starts with Iranian footballer suspended for wearing SpongeBob trousers.
Excellent.
So
They were Squidward.
Trousers.
trousers.
SpongeBob.
So the guy's name is Sosha Makani. He's been handed a 6-month ban by the
SpongeBob.
Football Federations. Are you done?
No.
Okay, go ahead.
He got it in a pack of Krabby Patties. Okay, finish the story. 'cause
Okay,
I want to find
continue,
out how they
buddy.
found the trousers.
Well, he showed them to it. He's handed a 6-month ban by the Football Federation's Morality Committee over a photo of him wearing yellow trousers. And then they show, whoa, man, this was a yellow trouser.
They are
But do you
very
have a
yellow
picture
trousers.
on your
Let's
laptop?
let's look at this
Oh,
together.
please don't.
So there's his
Wow.
yellow trousers.
Oh, they're pants, not underwear.
Oh, that's
They're
That's
trousers.
trousers, you ding dong. You
I've
don't-
been to
you-
England. I know trousers are undergarments.
So, so
I have a pair of SpongeBob boxers.
You know
That's
they
why I-
speak English there.
It's kind of where it originated from.
So they
get to
so
the
they
Beatles
fear
later.
that so they're saying that they're calling it like basically that it's flamboyant.
They
and it's
hate that.
it's inappropriate to use that. So
But if you turn SpongeBob upside down, you have vulgar imagery right there with his nose and his
I just
eyes.
picture the Iron Sheik
Yeah.
yelling at him in the players' lounge about his trousers.
check out this quote from an unnamed official in the government. Quote: "We took this decision because of his appearance and the impact that it can have on society." What exactly is the impact that?
Oh, I know. It makes it fall on the ground and flop like a fish.
There you go.
Hey-o.
All right, next one. We're gonna go to New York next.
Okay.
The title of this article is "I quit my job to breastfeed my boyfriend every 2 hours."
that cannot be real. What is that source?
It's New York Post.
Oh yeah, that thing's a
Oh,
rag.
that's just that's
total
just a
rag.
Okay, so
Bait.
it
You
says
gotta
a
keep
mom
going, though.
is breastfeeding her boyfriend 20 years after having children. She took time off from her job. It was a bartender to induce breastfeeding because she wanted to start an adult breastfeeding relationship with her
That's
boyfriend.
So she serves drinks by day and by night.
So is it a rag? Do we cough this up to a rag?
I don't care how you cough it up. It's disgusting.
Oh wow. Okay.
Curdled.
To Cuba.
to Cuba we go.
To Cuba we go. 6 Cuban migrants landed in Lauderdale by the Sea, received a Donald Trump cap right when they got there.
They're making America great again.
So a group of Cuban
Remember that cap when you're thrown against that wall that's going to be built.
Actually, this is different. They can claim asylum.
Very true.
And so, yeah, I mean, that's basically they're escaping the country.
Would he throw
And
their
I hope they don't end up in Arkham.
Bane. Here we go. A group of Cuban immigrants landed in Lauderdale by the Sea at about 7:30 Monday in a boat with Barack Obama 3 men 2. Slang for Barack Obama the Tremendous written on the side.
Wow.
Of course, Trump's
I've got a name for my boat.
That is amazing. One of the people to see the Cubans arrive on them gave them a white Donald Trump cap that said "Make America Great Again." That migrant who had been at sea for 9 days put on the cap, posed for pictures, and later sat on the sand and smoked a cigarette.
Look, this is why he's not going to win Florida.
Like, look, but I love the Cubans. He's wearing my cap.
You know, in other fun news for any WWE fans, Brock Lesnar, current WWE superstar, has been given permission by WWE to fight at UFC 200, which is going to be their biggest pay-per-view ever. However, the funnier thing for any wrestling fans is that CM Punk left WWE 2.5 years ago to fight in UFC and has yet to have a fight, and Brock Lesnar is going to be able to do it under WWE contract. So that's going to be kind of fun.
Wow.
There's memes all over the place.
I think he's a
right now.
superstar. I don't think it's
A superstar.
He's a superstar.
Yeah.
Say it to his face.
I like the superstar better, to be honest.
He'll slap you harder than Frank did last week.
Don't know me
Ouch.
slapping.
Oh,
That was 2 weeks ago, sir.
Oh, gosh.
Thank you for reminding him.
Can't even. I can't.
Ray, do you have to have something crazy that happened?
There's not really anything crazy. The crazy thing for me is that we passed 19,000 likes. That's absolutely
You're
insane.
really trying to sink your own ship, aren't you?
I mean, you know, I'm amazed by the support that we get. I mean, our podcast keeps growing. We get so many great comments and everything on the Facebook page, even on Twitter. Twitter's doing really well. Instagram, we keep getting likes and follows on Instagram. It's just kind of crazy how it's all basically taken off. But guys, one thing that I have to tell you that I think is kind of really awesome is that with the amount of likes that we have, we've actually passed another Spurs fan Facebook page, and I think it's pretty huge. He's our boy. We love him. He's been on our show, but gentlemen, we're bigger than Spurs Jesus.
That's right. That's right, mate. The Spurs GSGMEMES podcast is bigger than Spurs Jesus. Liverpool.
Yeah, so I just think that's hilarious. Like I said, big old props to Spurs Jesus.
We're the Beatles.
We love you, man.
Of the Spurs fandom.
It really blows my mind the way how our page, everything just kind of keeps blowing up for us. Appreciate the support. All right, guys. Well, that brings us to the end of the Go Spurs Go Memes podcast. Frank, Buddy, Clay, thank you guys so much for spending another evening with me. We'll be back next week with episode number 41. By that time, we will probably have a brand new NBA champion.
Nobody cares.
Nobody really cares about it. And hopefully we will begin all the crazy rumors because it is starting to pick up. So very soon we will be getting all the juicy tidbits, and we'll be doing updates on the Facebook page and on Twitter, of course. So make sure that you share the page. Make sure that you follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. This podcast can be heard on SoundCloud, YouTube, iTunes, and, of course, Google Music. That's about it. Thank you guys for listening. And as always, go Spurs, go. Oh, Clay. I mean, Frank. I couldn't tell the voice.
Yeah,
Sorry.
exactly.
I thought it was Clay. My
If it
bad.
ain't Spurs, it's just a blur.
And with that. It wasn't me.
It wasn't you to ruin a podcast.
Well, why
Way
did
to
you
go.
write it down?
Don't read the cue cards.